Good evening, I'm Marvin Bartlett.
And I'm Imani Payne. Thanks for joining us. Will this be the year the Kentucky General Assembly legalizes sports betting?
The issue is polled with overwhelming support in the state, but some lawmakers remain opposed to expanding the state's gambling options and don't see it as an economic benefit. Bodie Brooks explains the debate.
Yeah, Marvin, Imani, just last week, Frankfort Representative Derrick Graham filed House Bill 106. Now, that would legalize online sports, poker, and paid fantasy competitions in Kentucky. Last year, the House took a bet on a similar bill, but in the Senate, no dice. The expert I spoke with says the longer Kentucky waits, the more money the state stands to lose.
Absolutely, Kentucky's missing out.
Since a Supreme Court ruling in 2019, more and more states have legalized sports betting, leaving Missouri now the only bordering state to the Commonwealth without legal gaming.
Clearly, people are going right across the border, downloading the apps, and then making the bets and driving right back over into Kentucky.
John Cox at the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce says numbers from tracking company GeoComply show at least 41,000 unique users in Kentucky making bets, hopping state lines.
We need to finally pass sports betting.
I think it's a simple extension of our history and tradition of wagering on another sport, horse racing.
Politicians on opposite sides of the spectrum supporting it strongly. So why hasn't Kentucky cashed in?
It's an addictive thing, and it causes harm to families, causes harm to communities, reduces disposable income for families. So I'm opposed to gambling, including the sports betting bill.
Some, like West Kentucky Senator Whitney Westerfield, not supporting last year's bill because he sees gambling as a tax on the poor. Senate President Robert Stiver saying he just doesn't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big issue in this state. It's not going to generate a lot of money. It's a appetizer or a dessert type of portion of your overall menu of your entertainment dollar.
Well, I would argue that it would be a very popular appetizer or dessert.
Cox says in 2019, Kentucky was projected to profit $22.5 million from wagering, and that's likely grown with inflation.
If you look at comparable states in terms of population-wise, we're right in between Louisiana and Oregon, which are both states that have passed and enacted sports betting legally. And so those two states bring in roughly about $30 million a year.
Now, Cox says that should the state legalize sports betting, it would help bring in talent to Kentucky, and he also says the state should direct some of that revenue to help with problem gaming addiction.
And not a debate that's going to go away anytime soon.
Oh, no, it's a very popular issue, Marvin.
Okay, Bodie, thank you.
Thank you.